everyone, I'm here today with a 1970s makeup look. I haven't done a decades video in a really long time. Yes, I just kind of took a break from YouTube and then took a break from the whole decades thing altogether, but I am back today. This is a collaboration series with my friend Kaylee, so I'll make sure to leave her channel in the description box down below. Make sure to check her out because she is super cool and super great, and I love her. Anyways, the 70s were all about being kind of natural, like having natural looking skin, but being really bronzed, and their eyeshadow was kind of crazy, as you can see. This baby blue crap all over the place, and lips are glossy. So anyways, if you want to see how to get this 1970s makeup look, then keep on watching. Guys, so today I'm resuming my decade collaboration series. I took kind of a break from it just because I was kind of taking a break from YouTube, and then just other things kind of got in the way. But so today this video is going to be about the 1970s. Honestly, there were like kind of three subsets of makeup in the 1970s, like everyday, punk, and then disco. I was kind of struggling because there were just so many things, and I was like, what actually was the main big thing? And I feel like people were just doing a lot of stuff with makeup in the 1970s, so I don't know, like, even though this might be one way of doing makeup in the 1970s, I don't know, there were lots of other ways. So just, there's a lot of stuff going on. This is just my take on what was going on in the 1970s. I'm gonna start off with my L'Oreal Visible Lift foundation in the shade, I believe it is Pale. Yeah, 103 Pale. I'm kind of sloppy with the way I apply foundation, so I'm just going to put it on the back of my hand and use my fingers. Also, sorry, I have family over, so sorry if you can hear them. But anyways, in the 70s, they were typically all about that kind of light foundation to appear as natural as possible, because this was around the time when the second wave of feminism was really taking off. So a lot of women were like, you know, makeup, that is sexist and we do not like it. And I don't know, women, they just didn't want to be trying to look good for all the men in the world, and I get that, but me, I love my cake face, okay? So yeah, basically they just wanted to have very light coverage. They weren't too neat about it. It didn't really matter. Just have a nice even layer everywhere, because I don't want to miss anywhere, but also I'm not going for like full coverage. This foundation is pretty medium coverage, like, I don't know. I don't really own light coverage foundations because, in my eyes, what's the point? If it's light coverage, what's the point? What's it gonna do? I don't really wear foundation anyways, so I don't know, just whatever. Keeping with the whole light coverage sort of vibe, I'm gonna use my Femme Couture stick concealer. I got it from Sally's and I never really liked it because of how light coverage it was. But yeah, I'm just gonna put this under my eyes. I'm gonna use this Luxie 211 brush to apply it, just because the tube is like mostly empty. So moving on to the eyebrows. Eyebrows were pretty thin because in makeup everything is usually pretty cyclical, so like the trends that were happening in one decade are eventually going to come back. You can't just keep inventing new things. Like at a certain point everything has already been done before. So in the 70s there was kind of a wave of 20s inspired makeup, and the reason for that was because the Great Gatsby movie, the first one, I think it was made in the 70s. So people were like, I want to look like I'm from the 20s. So brows are pretty thin because if you guys remember in my 1920s video, my brows are pretty rounded and thin, so basically that's how it was again in the 70s. And brows were also meant to be lighter than normal. Alright, I'm gonna go in with my Coastal Scents Revealed 3 palette. We're gonna go in with this matte brown at the front of the brow, and towards the tail I will do the darker brown. By the way, I'm using the Bare Minerals brush. I use it in all my tutorials because it's a really good brow brush. Since my brows are so thick and full already, there is nothing I can really do to make them thinner unless I wanted to commit to plucking them away, but I love my full brows, okay? So basically I'm just gonna make them a little more round. So these are my brows. I know they aren't like the roundest or thinnest things in the world, but it's hard with what I've got to work with. Pearly sort of finishes were super duper popular in the 70s, and so were pastel colors on the eyes, and since I don't have any pastel pearly shades to achieve that look, I'm going to go in with the Urban Decay Primer Potion in the shade Sin, which is like the shimmery primer. I believe it was discontinued, but I just have the sample versions of it. So yeah, since Sin has like that shimmery sort of finish to it, it helps to give shadows on top of it a shimmery finish as well. Probably not as intense as it would have been in the 70s, but bear with me. Okay, so as I was saying before, the eyeshadow shades that were more popular in the 70s than anything else were like pastel pearly shades and also earthy tones. But I'm gonna go with like the whole pastel sort of theme because I'm into a little bit more loud colors. So anyways, I'm gonna use this pastel blue from the Sugarpill Edward Scissorhands palette, and that's called Home Sweet Home. Sorry this isn't the most accessible palette in the world. I know the first time it was in stock it sold out really, really quickly, and then they restocked it, and I don't know if it's still in stock. But if it is, you should totally get it because Edward Scissorhands is cool. So is Sugarpill. If you cannot get your hands on the Edward Scissorhands palette, then I would recommend this pink shade and this Wet n Wild Trio and Sweet as Candy. It's definitely a lot more affordable. These are $2, I think, or $3. But I just want to use my new makeup because my boyfriend got me this for Christmas because he's really nice, and I just want to use this blue eyeshadow. I'm going to use my finger to apply this blue shadow and pack it on really heavily. In the 70s there was no crease definition whatsoever, so I'm just using my finger to pat the shadow upward and distribute the color less densely as I move into my crease. So even though there wasn't crease definition or a whole lot of color blending, there was often a brow bone highlight in the eye makeup of the 1970s, so you're going to see that in just a second. My mic on my camera gave out, so that's why I'm doing a voiceover for part of this video. To achieve my brow bone highlight, I'm going to use that Wet n Wild Sweet as Candy trio that I was just talking about earlier and put it on my brow bone and also in my inner corner. Anyways, I'm going to go in my Chocolate Soleil Too Faced bronzer in the shade Medium, which is too dark for me, but it's okay because in the 70s people loved to go overboard with their bronzer. They might have thought that they were going for the natural look, but like, let's be honest, you could pretty much really tell they were rocking a fake tan, which is fine. I do that today. I contour with bronzer because I don't really care. People are like, your shadows should be gray, not orange. But you know, I want orange shadows. But anyways, yeah, you can see me talking because, like I said before, my camera got messed up and I just have to record over so you can actually hear it, and this microphone picks up sound better than my camera was. So as you can see, I just went into all the typical like bronzer contour places underneath the cheekbones, the jawline, and my temples, and I went really heavy, as I said before. So anyways, next I'm going to be using this Ofra highlighter in the shade You Do You as a blush. The reason why I'm using this highlighter is because it does have that pearly finish that was so popular in the 70s. It's a pink shade with a gold shift, which makes it really match the warm, bronzy sort of look that we're going for. In the early 70s, blush was applied pretty blended, but then towards the mid and late 70s, it was applied in harsh, unblended stripes down the cheeks of your face. It's hard for me to talk, but yeah, I'm going for that more harsh, unblended look rather than a soft look, because we know I like to live on the edge. Next, I'm going to go in with this Jelly Pong Pong Cosmetics All Over Luminizer. I got it in my December BoxyCharm, and it's a liquid highlighter, and it just really goes with the whole doobie, glowy, healthy skin thing that was going on in the 70s. That was me smelling it because it smells like coconut sunscreen, and I love that scent. And that is me admiring my highlight because it does look really good. I'm also going to take the highlighter down my nose and on my chin and my cupid's bow just lightly. For mascara, I'm going to be using my Wet n Wild Mega Plump Mascara, and in the 70s it was almost rare for people to use mascara, especially on the bottom lashes. I'm going to be putting mascara on the bottom lashes, which they would do for discos, but other than that, probably not. So I'm just flicking the wand through my lashes a few times. It's nothing close to as thorough as I usually coat my lashes, just because that is the way they went about applying mascara in the 70s. Lastly, to finish off the look, I'm going to be doing my lips with the ColourPop Cosmetics Lippy Stick in the shade Oh Snap. This is a matte shade, so I'm going to be using a gloss on top of it because just like everything else in the 70s, women typically did not want their lips to be matte. So this is a Now to top off my lipstick, I'm going to be taking the Mana Kadar lip gloss in the shade All of Me. It's a dusty pink sort of color that I feel pairs really, really well with Oh Snap. Well, this is the finished 1970s makeup look. Nothing too exciting, nothing too fancy, but honestly, just like the wash of blue eyeshadow doesn't look bad like I thought it would. Maybe I do look crazy, but I think I look good. I don't know. Anyways, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, thank you so, so much. And it would be great if you left a comment, gave me a thumbs up, and maybe even subscribed. And make sure to check out my friend Kaylee's channel because she's doing the whole same decade series that I'm doing. So I'll leave her link down below. She's really, really cool, and her hair is amazing, and I don't know, she's like the coolest kid in town. What can I say? Anyways, I really hope to see you next time. Bye, guys.